Let me ask you something. When a team hands out a $300 million contract or a $700 million contract, what do you think they're actually paying for? Because it's not home runs alone, it's not ERA, and it's definitely not vibes. Right now, MLB is in the middle of a quiet reset when it comes to how teams value star players. Not just how much they pay them, but why. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Today, I want to walk through what MLB's most must watch players really cost their teams and what those contracts tell us about where baseball is headed. Baseball is still a team sport. That hasn't changed. One player can't carry a franchise to a title of his own. Mike Trout is the proof everyone already knows. But here's the tension. Some players matter even when the team result doesn't follow. They matter to ticket sales. They matter to broadcast partners. They matter to how a franchise is perceived by fans, agents, and other players. That's why Will Leach's recent look at the one must watch player in each division hit a nerve. Because when you step back, those names all share something in common. Their teams didn't or won't pay them because they might be great. They paid them because these players stabilize attention in a sport that competes for it every night. Let's start with Aaron Judge. The Yankees didn't give Judge $360 million because they ran out of right fielders. They paid for continuity. Judge anchors their identity. He holds together TV ratings, sponsorship value, and the idea that the Yankees are always relevant, even in down years. That contract reduces uncertainty. And in business terms, reducing uncertainty has value. Juan Soto's deal with the Mets takes that idea and turns the volume way up. That wasn't a roster decision, that was a market shaping decision. Ownership wasn't paying for a left handed swing, they were buying legitimacy, ambition, and leverage with fans, with agents, and with future free agents watching closely. Now let's talk about Shohei Ohtani, because his contract tells us where the thinking is going. Yes, it's massive, but the interesting part is how it's structured. Deferred money isn't some accounting trick. It's a strategy that allows a contender to stay flexible while locking in the most globally relevant player baseball has ever seen. The Dodgers didn't shrink their payroll pressure, they spread it over time. That's front office confidence in future revenue, future competitiveness, and future attention. This is what modern MLB contracts are becoming: financial architecture, not paychecks. Tarek Scooble's arbitration case might seem boring compared to nine-figure deals, but it might matter more long term. When elite pitchers push salary ceilings before free agency, it reshapes how teams think about extensions, risk, and player control. That tension isn't loud, but it's foundational. It influences who gets locked up early, who waits, and how payrolls are planned 3 or 4 years ahead. Pitchers like Scooble are forcing teams to confront a question they'd rather avoid. What's the cost of elite performance before free agency? Then you've got players like Paul Skeens and Nick Kurtz. Right now, they're cost efficient, and that's exactly why they matter. These players create competitive windows. They allow teams to spend elsewhere or not spend at all, while still drawing attention and credibility. But every front office knows the clock is ticking. Do you extend early and absorb risk? Do you wait and pay later? Or do you plan for their day they're too expensive to keep? Those decisions ripple through an organization long before a contract is signed. Here's where fans come in. Big contracts change how players are judged. They change patience levels. They change expectations. They change how silence feels when a star goes hitless. A massive deal turns a player into a symbol, for better or worse. And teams know that going in. They accept that pressure because relevance has a price, attention has a price, stability has a price. And increasingly, teams are deciding that paying that price is better than drifting quietly into the background. So here's what I want to know from you. Which kind of contract would you rather your team sign? The massive, identity defining superstar deal, or the slow build approach that spreads money and risk across the roster? Because both come with consequences, and neither is as simple as the headline number. Drop your take in the comments. I read them all, and I'm genuinely curious where fans land on this. The biggest mistake we make with MLB contracts is thinking they're about players alone. They're about belief, they're about timing, they're about how teams choose to matter. And the next time a contract breaks the internet, the most important question won't be, is this too much money? It'll be, what problem is this team trying to solve? We'll keep unpacking those questions here.